Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Bryn, we have some business to attend to. So
we do.
We see this expanse of darkness. We see Bryn, and Bryn, like you're without your shield. You're battle damaged, Bryn, right? So your armor's like dented, and you've got blood all over you. And we see this expanse of darkness, and from the darkness, from the horizon, we see rising a stone chair, a throne, rises up from the darkness, dripping this black ooze. And as it seeps away, a cloud of red mist fills the area around the chair and congeals into a shape. You see a creature seated in this chair. And like, I'm going to try really hard to make this guy seem cool, but like, I'm going to show you the handout and we can all have a good giggle at how stupid he looks. It's me. What's going on? Do you like my loincloth of heads?
I have never once... Does he have a head cod piece?
I was going to say, There's never been a single character in anything ever that has been able to wear a shirt or like a torso piece that looks like a face that has ever been intimidating in any way.
I know he looks like the last boss of like a Doom knockoff.
Bell, more like a bell end.
No, that's what you say when you kill him. You're like, time for you to become a bell end, and then you kill him. So he appears, right? This flaming sword and his throne of Gozer the Gozerians, and he spreads his mighty wings and looks down upon you. And
I feel like this is like Bryn's face is just like, yup.
Yeah. And he says to you, you're dying, Bryn. The end is coming, not just for you, but for your friends as well. Without you to protect them, one by one, they will fall. I have for you an offer, a renewal of your pathetic mortal life, in exchange for a simple service. What do you say? Want? And you ask him what he wants, and he grins and shakes his head, and he says, you must agree first. Then I will tell you the price.
That's stupid.
That seems... Okay. I know I'm not the smartest. I understand that compared to someone like Sosorovo, my intelligence is almost half of what they have. In fact, I actually think it is literally half of what they... What's your intelligence, Sosorovo?
20.
18 or 20?
20, yeah.
In fact, it is less than half of what they have. But I am savvy enough to know that making deals when you don't know what you're agreeing to is just a bad idea. What assurances that you can give me that your deal wouldn't just be murder your friends?
I need them as they need you. We share a common enemy. Zariel. The task I have in mind for you serves her downfall.
Do you want me to kill Zariel?
Accept my offer or perish.
Can I, take about 6 seconds to think about it?
He shakes his head, and the severed heads on his belt all moan in pain. Like, ooh.
Oh, no.
One of them is John Romero. This is what happens when you make Daikatana, John. I'm sorry.
I have to think about this.
Yeah.
Lauren the player 100% wants to take this.
Yeah.
It would be far more interesting for Lauren the player to be like, what's the deal that I'm going to take?
Yeah, do it.
Bryn take it? Because I don't think Bryn thinks she can weasel her way out of the deal. She wouldn't take it being like, oh, I can deny this later.
Yeah, this is a lot more serious than a couple of birds trying to trick November into killing a guy.
This is, I'd eternal torment if I go back on this deal. So Bryn will attempt to at least try and get some stipulations of just sort of stands up, puts herself as much in a position of power as she can, being bloodied and dying in his skull throne in front of him. I won't kill my friends. I won't destroy El Terrell. I won't back down from the quest that I'm on. So if you think your desires are in line with those, then it seems like we can have a temporary alliance. Enemies of my enemies and all that.
Take a quick look at your phone. You got an 85% match with Bell, Lord of Hell. So you know, it's like maybe worth like a first date.
It's worth testing the waters.
He says nothing because he already laid out his ultimatum, right? And I think we see in the kind of like mist that hovers over the black liquid surface of this weird in between place images of your friends lying dead, right? You see the red caps like fighting over their corpse. Like he's showing you like this is what'll happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not the first time she's been shown visions of horrible things.
Do you accept?
Should I accept?
You said you accept the deal from this cool fire
There's
sword,
literally no reason not
shirt
to
wearing,
accept a
head
demon deal,
codpiece,
Yeah, no, it's
dinosaur
true.
legs guy.
One life and one soul is worth saving the others. We have a deal.
Very well. And then it all vanishes. So what happens? You are returned to unconsciousness for now. So here's how it works. You automatically roll a 20 on your next death save. You'll just automatically get a 20, back up and ready to rock. You are now under the effects of the spell that is in Welsh and I can't pronounce. Gesh. You are under the effects of Gesh. So
Yes.
the words of Bell echo in your mind. And he says to you, let me see how he would phrase this. You envision, I guess he shows you a vision of demons or of devils, and they seem to be sneaking out of some place, and they are carrying with them a chest between them. So we see two like spine devils like sneaking away from a place, and between them this chest, and the chest is marked with like evil sigils. And then we roll back to see them putting into this chest adamantine rods, these metal rods, and they're placing them in the chest, and they've stolen them from Bell. He wants you to return them. There are nine adamantine rods stolen from my forge. Bring them to me. So that's all he wants. He just wants you to go.
Needs you to go and get his rods back.
That's right.
Well, you know, what's he gonna use his?
Not only does he need it, but you were under the effects of that spell and have to do it. Yeah. So go find them and get them and bring them to me. Which is gonna make for a really awkward conversation where you walk in and he's like, "Hello, Bryn. Thank you," and you're just like, So yeah, make a note of that, and then on your turn, you will return to life at 1 hit point, and you are ready to rock.
Can we just call it geese?
Geese, yeah.
Untitled Gesh game.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So that was it for the red caps. Miffles has just poured a potion into November's mouth. What's Miffles gonna do now?
Nobody else is down, so I can't use extra stuff. Let's just use. Miffles can't move without taking an AOO from this madcap, so we'll use the aid action to give advantage to the next attack made against that particular dude.
Okay.
Can I assume this is used at a spell slot of 9th level or above, as in it will end when it is ended and not after a time period?
The geese.
The geese. Yes. Yeah. He's an archdevil. This is like this is their jam.
Yeah.
He didn't cast the spell on you. So for anybody who's like, but you're immune to it or whatever, it's different. It's the effect. Basically, the designers of the adventure are saying we already have a framework for this, so we're gonna throw it in there. We're gonna use that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Miffles provides interference. Sathra, you're standing. You're alive.
God.
And
I have a turn.
it's your fucking turn. Go.
Oh my god. I did smash the shit out of this madcap to our south.
Do you want to auto hit that one? Just might as well take it because I can't use it defensively.
Well, let's do it.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, because it can't be used to save anybody because nobody has high enough AC. So you roll a 12 plus whatever.
Okay, cool. +9, so like 21.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just rolling. Oh,
God
shit.
damn it.
Sorry.
14 damage.
All right.
And then I'll hit him again.
Yeah, you got second swing.
God damn it.
So close.
No, I didn't do it before I fucking attacked.
If he's dead, you kill him. Don't worry.
Okay, he's dead.
Yeah,
Sorry,
don't worry. You
fine.
don't need to worry about it. Yeah, he's toast. So the first swing, the sword bites into him, and then the second you pull out and hit him again, and down he goes.
That's my deal. That's my turn.
Good work, Sathra. All right, November. You got 1 hit point.
Yeah, so I have 1 hit point, and I don't know anything about
No, you don't know anything about that.
the thing. So I feel like still healing Bryn is probably like a priority, because she just got her head stomped while she was down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this guy looks like he's gonna treat her like a kid does a puddle.
Yeah. So I like kind of wide-eyed at the two red cap madcaps like right to either side of me, and I'm just like, nope, Bryn will protect me if anything happens to me. So I'm just gonna get Bryn back up. You get knocked down and you get up again.
Okay.
So Bryn gets, God, I keep rolling worse. 15 plus 7 is 22. Is that correct? Did I do that math right?
Yeah.
Bryn gets 22 HP and I get 7 and Sathra gets 7.
So that's chat made a good point. This is a clever application of wording. Somebody in chat's a lawyer. So let me take a look. So it specifically says automatically rolls a 20 on their next death save.
There's no death save now.
So now there's no death save. So
Okay.
the next time you need to make a death save, remember it's automatically a 20.
Write that down on the sheets.
Very, very
I'm just
nice.
writing this all under my little Gius thing.
Who is responsible for that clever business?
I mean, that's a
Bonus
perfect
points to
lawyer
you.
thing.
That's
So question
Rictavia, it looks like to me.
The devils I'm stealing these adamantium bars for, do I know more about them than they're devils?
No, you just know they're out there.
No,
and I know-
if Bell knew where they were, he would be
Okay.
like, go
Did I
here and
get
get
a-
them for me.
Vague picture of the location.
No, you just know they were stolen. They're stolen from his forge and taken away somewhere.
he was going to make something with those.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he is, but whatever.
or they're like the control rods for a hellish nuclear reactor. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Homer. He's just taken them.
Yeah, they need to go back to Sector 7G right away. Yeah. They're in Hell Noble.
True neutral is, I could totally take that deal. If I was lawful good, definitely.
Yeah, right. You can play everybody against everybody else. You're in the middle.
Devil Homer has the thing on the
Bryn.
board, and it says "Do it for hell."
Remember, do it for hell. Excellent.
Okay,
Bryn's
so
logic.
for the rest of my turn, I'm going to get Bryn up off the ground.
Yeah, you can pick Brent up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't heal people, can't protect people if you're dead, Helm.
Yeah, I feel like in this case, if you're pathetic, God can't hear you here. If in this case, if Bryn were still unconscious and you wanted to lift her, I might make you make an athletics check because she's so heavy. But
Yeah.
you're okay because she stands too. She helps you with her legs.
Like, oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, putting in work. Lulu triumphantly shouts,
Nobody's dead. Well, like a bunch of the bad guys are dead, but we're okay.
and is out of trumpets, and so just find someone to headbutt. She's gonna come back over here, and she's gonna make an attack with her tusks. She's gonna get a 9.
Like 1 hit point. You got this.
She gets a 9 and she misses anyway. So
Fuck's sake.
okay, all right. So Srovo, it's your turn.
Oh, now he's close enough. I can't finish him with magic missiles either. Great, good job, Lulu.
Hashtag good job, Lulu.
I mean,
Sweet
do you
deal.
still have the storm? Can't you just lightning the guy?
I would rather use it on the one I have advantage on the attack for. Really.
Oh, right, because Miffles.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I set that up that way. So first I'm going to use my bonus action to attack the madcap with advantage.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah, because it's swatting at Miffles and being annoyed and trying to kill November. So
23.
Okay.
Takes 13 lightning damage.
Nice. Okay.
Can't use my stupid mind spikes anymore. Stupid spell. Get out of here.
Stupid magic, stupid rules making me not do everything I want to do.
And I can't target the guy with magic missiles because it would be targeting it. let's just. We're gonna rest after this. I'm gonna use my last 3rd level spell slot on more magic missiles on this guy. We're just gonna do it.
Okay.
Just make him die. Make him die as much as we can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. All right.
3, 5, 10, 14. 19.
So I'll do them one at a time, and then if it dies, you can target those.
I don't have any other targets.
You do. Oh no, he's inside Lulu's.
Yeah.
Damn
exactly.
it, Lulu. Okay, well you definitely kill him then. The first 3 missiles finish him off.
Okay, and the other ones I try and fire towards the guy, and then they evaporate. I'm like, damn it, Lulu.
Yep.
Yep. And I stop rushing over because everybody was been on the ground and stuff.
Okay, so you run up to the edge of the storm.
Over there.
Okay, are there any madcaps left? No, I will remove them.
Killed them all.
Bryn, there's one remaining red cap. The one that kicked you in the face.
She's up.
Yep, you're standing.
She stands up,
Mhm.
or she's standing. She looks at the red cap. She like rubs her face a little bit where it's like really hurts, and then is like, wait a minute. Looks down at the red cap's boots, looks at her face, and is just like,
Yeah. Yeah, and he sees you get up, and he has a long way to look as you stand, and he just reaches up to his collar, and he's like, so let's not be hasty here. We can talk this out. We're all friends. And then you just
Fucking kill him.
smack her,
bonk. Yep, you hit him.
for 8 damage.
Dead as hell.
Great.
Splorch.
We survived, and we only had to take 1 demon deal, and we
Yeah.
didn't even have to.
One's fine.
So
Yeah.
Do you say that out loud?
We'll
So
see.
all of a sudden, so you kill it, and then you look around like everybody's all tense, looking for other targets. You realize that the fight is over, and there are just these 2 birds up here, these 2 ravens, just like just chuckling.
I
Now,
yell in
you-
their general direction. I
Yeah.
say, "You better put in a good word after all of this." And like
And-
limping and covered in
Yeah,
blood.
and they look at each other and they nod and they turn back and they say, I think again in what language are they speaking to you? Infernal. Yeah. So they say in Infernal, they're like, "Oh yes. We'll put in a good word for you. I'm sure you'll get just what you deserve." And
Oh, fuck
they flutter away.
you
They pop
little
up and flutter
pieces
off.
of shit.
You stupid.
Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
All right. So they flutter off, and you have
It's like, wait, do we need to? Never mind.
and you've dispatched the leader. I'm sure that the Red Caps will sort out their internal hierarchy on their own eventually. But yeah, you're standing out in the junkyard, battered and bruised, and
Did we
yeah,
get
what
that
happens
tooth?
now?
Did anyone pick up the tooth?
Yes, we got the tooth.
I
That
need a
was
rest, but
far
we should
too
turn that
close.
tooth in.
I mean, maybe we can rest inside of his junk heap. Maybe that'll be a little safer.
Oh, you want to go back and give what was his name,
Handing
Barnabas?
the question.
That's right.
We are handing
Yeah.
this quest in.
I nearly died.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is that luckily killing Wazik and his goons gets you both the quest item for that and the resolves your kill Wazik 0 of 1, right? So you did it.
Wazik's killed.
It wasn't kill Wazik. It was take care of Wazik. We could have just cuddled him or
No,
something.
that would not have been enough.
That would not have satisfied.
Yeah, those little guys
the
wanted you to get them.
contract.
So okay, all right. So you want to go back and find Barnabas, who's like
Yeah.
hiding out under a pile.
I
of
think so.
guns?
I also want to hide out under a pile.
Okay. All right. So you make your way back to who was it that was originally talking to Barnabas? Who's responsible?
Bryn.
Was Bryn? Okay. All right. So Bryn, you lead.
Barnabas.
Yeah, you lead the party back to the little hole Barnabas was hiding in, and he pops out, and he's like, guests, I'm just and he turns
Yeah,
around. He turns around so no one can see his face, and he
Yeah.
says, did you find the thing I was looking for?
Do you have information for us?
And he slowly turns around, and he's a flame skull, right? So he's got this like aura of fire around him, but he's missing one of his teeth, so he looks a little bit comical. Does anybody like make a reaction or like
Bryn's so
laugh
done
or?
with it.
What's a wisdom saving throw?
I could not care less.
There we go.
you hold back a giggle. Okay. Yeah. So he turns around and he says, "Do you have my tooth?"
We do.
Could you be a dear and just jam it back in there?
Bryn takes the tooth.
Mhm.
Entirely unmedically trained, just shoves it in.
Yeah.
The
I mean, it's got a pointy bit and there's like a hole and you just kind
like
of
turns it upside
Wait,
down a few times.
That goes on fire. Don't touch it. Just magic hand.
No. It's like a USB stick. She puts it in and then turns
Oh,
it
shit,
around.
it's backwards.
What?
Perfect. Yeah, he doesn't have USB-C teeth, unfortunately. So yeah, you stick it back in and he like, clacks his teeth. He's like, that's so much better. Thank you. I feel presentable again. Yes, very nice. And on the plus side, I imagine you showed those obnoxious redcaps a little bit of what for?
We
I got to
smashed
use
some
my
stuff.
new spell.
And he looks around and he sees her. He's like, yes, new faces. Hello, everyone. My name is Barnabas.
So
Yes.
sort of whatever you want to know, I believe this flaming skull is going to tell you.
Yeah. Like,
I'd say I'll chop his head off, but you know.
Oh,
I'm a bit ahead of you, madam.
so
happen to know where Bell's Forge is? You know, the demon lord.
Wait, who?
why are you asking?
Right. And he says,
I'll explain later.
Bell? Yes. Absolutely. It's, well, it's you see, this is complicated because, well, the thing about Avernus is,
Yes, we know
and
everything moves. So, like, giving us things relative, not to distance, but closeness to each other. You've got to be a bit abstract about it.
you wouldn't happen to have a map, would you?
Yes.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. So you take, he's like, bring it over here. So who has the map? I assumed it was
Probably-
Sosorovo because it's
yeah,
like
you carry the
nerd
most,
stuff.
like
Yeah.
nerdy stuff.
Nerd stuff.
So you walk over with it, and he looks around and he says, does anyone have something to write with? I can mark your map, I just
Yes.
no hands.
I'll hold my hand here, but you just move it with your teeth.
And
They have thick
so
gloves.
He comes over, and the flames around him like kind of recede a little bit, so they almost just look like hair now coming off the back of him. And he reaches out and he puts his teeth on it, and he's like, all right, so you don't know this high over the river over here. Let me just a little closer, please. And you bring it over, and he draws an X on the map, which I can actually reveal to you. Bell's Forge is here,
Oh yeah.
across the river
volcano.
Styx, up here in this terrible volcano
where
next
are
to
we?
the puddle of goo. This is
Do we
Bell's
know where
Forge.
we are
This is Bell's environmental waste dump.
We're right here, or yeah, right here.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, and you're down here.
Sorry, can we text on that? Because I
This one?
will not remember what it says. Yeah. So this is the Maggie's.
Oh, here, I can do it.
Oh, if there's a thing.
It's
that would be super
just
helpful.
it's just a token, so I can just turn the name on. There you go.
Okay, sweet. That's better.
And
And
then
then-
Elturel is down here, and I'll do the same for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Elturel and Mad Maggie's both, I think, predate or post-date the map because it's quite an old map.
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. So there's Bell's Forge is over there. On the other
Okay,
side
and
of
that's
whatever
gonna-
the shit this is.
It's gonna stay there.
There's like a cool pit fiend here. There's this guy. It's actually a really cool map. Yeah.
is.
So he says, yes. Do you mind my asking why you're so curious about the forge?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have the
that's a
same
great
question.
I was gonna explain it to all of them later. I don't think need to know.
Yeah, it's a group thing. Don't worry about it. We'll organize it ourselves.
Unless you have information that would be particularly relevant. It's a starting point on a thing I need to find.
Well, I don't get out much, as I imagine you can see, but I've heard scuttlebutt around Avernus is that Bell used to run this place, but not since Zariel arrived. Zariel put him in his place, and now he's her lieutenant. So he must be a bit sour about that. So be careful if you go there. Don't go throwing her name around.
That's useful.
Speaking of Zariel, though, I believe our whole rendezvous,
Right, that.
Maggie's, was about perhaps discovering where we might find a glowing castle made of goodness encapsulated in a scab on the surface of Elturel.
Well, that's a mouthful. There's plenty of scabs, lots of blood and guts and what have you. But I don't know anything about a fortress of good. Can't imagine it would last very long in a place like this.
No, probably.
So
really
did we ask Clonk and whatever?
Chukka?
Chukka and Clonk about that? Because they were the ones supposedly who found Lulu.
Yes, I did ask them, and they didn't have the information we needed.
Yes.
They were gonna. So last thing, you don't happen to. Well, I guess if she lets you live here, could you put in a good word with Maggie? We're kind of riding on her getting something done for us. Otherwise, we're kind of stuck here.
Is she making something for you? She's something of an engineer. Hey, do you see those beautiful engines of iron? She's
sorry. A what?
It's a word. It means person who makes machines. In Maggie's case, war machines. A very popular business around here.
I call them engines. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. So I mean, yeah, of course. I would be happy to. She does listen to me and my counsel from time to time. I was a great wizard after all.
You don't happen to still have a spell book or anything, do you?
No, if only I did. I do so miss it, paging through it at night.
You can still use fireballs, right? That's like the most important one.
And yeah, and he kind of tips back and forth in the form of a nod and says, I see you are a svirfneblin of some taste. Good. Unfortunately, well, fireball, a bit less useful around here.
Yeah, I don't even keep it prepared. I totally know it though. Like every wizard knows fireball.
Yeah, they're both just like, of course, like a wizard that can't cast fireball. What am I? A warlock?
Excuse me. Even I know fireball.
He turns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're like, everybody knows fireball.
I don't know
That
fireball.
shield knows fireball, apparently.
Yeah, right, Gargoyle's like,
Oh
"What
yeah,
up, you
technically
two?"
I can cast fireball.
Am I the only one who can't cast fireball?
Yes.
No, actually, I can't cast it.
Oh, you're joking.
You're just
I was
bragging.
joking.
Neither can I.
Everybody's just agreed that
Wait,
fireball is
Bryn's
great.
like, wait, I'm the only one who's ever cast fireball.
Technically, I cast fireball.
Shut up.
Uh,
Sorry, not all of you. Never mind.
She's talking to voices, and again, it's
yeah, that's a bit concerning, honestly, the longer it goes on.
we can talk about that if you want. I mean, we might be able to work something.
Do you happen to have room in your junk heap for... I'm very tired. No.
He just kind of stares at you. It's very hard to emote because he has no features. So he just stares at you.
I just don't know if Maggie or the Red Caps or those Ravens or anyone we've run into, honestly, would be someone I'd trust to
Barnabas,
be unconscious around.
So Barnabas says, well, as you can see, I live in a hole in a pile of junk. Just big enough for a, I don't know, human skull. So I'm not going to be able to invite you in
huge human skull.
Yeah, right. Strangely large. I got bigger after I died. But so I'm not going to be able to invite you in for wine and biscuits. But you might find a place to rest in Mickey's stable. He's doted upon by Maggie, and well, he might have a little extra room. He's a bit of a dullard, but it's not his fault.
I was going to have a look at him, actually. He seemed like he wasn't quite built right. Maybe I could fix his wobbling.
Yes, I have some opinions about his creation myself, but a word to the wise: keep it to yourself. Maggie doesn't like criticism. Once I
If I made a
suggested,
flesh golem and it was broken, then I'd be.
once I suggested to her that perhaps she could use a different color of paint than red or black, and she chased me around trying to crack me open with a hammer. So, it might be best to keep it to ourselves when we have these sorts of opinions.
Right.
Got it.
But Mickey might be able to help you out. Thank you again. He turns to Bryn. If you're headed to Bell's Forge, well, good luck with that. Keep out of the Styx water. Not good for your kind.
Where's it?
Our kind, as in not skulls.
Yes,
Devil,
I mean,
I think.
people not
Living?
native to this place. It's dangerous to everyone, but especially to you.
When he says like people not native to that place, I get like a questioning kind of look on my face. Like, I wonder how that, I feel like this place.
It will affect you as well. You can't keep asking the question both directions. You're either the thing or not the thing. You're
I'm
not
trying to.
either one.
It's a voyage of self-discovery. Damn it!
That's right.
Your
November's got
self-dis-
identity issues.
Your self-discovery made you agree to doing something for a bunch of devils already, so that makes you more mortal than devil. Just baseline.
Yes. What kind of foolish person would agree to do a thing for a devil?
Yeah.
I was
Nope.
just thinking the same thing, the warlock said.
Yeah. Let's all agree.
Mickey's stable. Then, thank you.
So you want to go and try to find Mickey?
Uh-huh.
I
Let's go
suppose
take
so,
him out.
yeah. A rest would
there's
be
a,
lovely.
There's a conversation to either be had when we're there.
I think
or
as you're
on the
walking
way.
through
Yeah.
the field, it's totally fine to
Bryn, again, not the sharpest, probably forgets that she's supposed to tell you something, and she's like, "Right, where's Mickey's?" And just like is very testy.
Why?
Are you
why-
all right, Miss Robo?
Why were you asking about? I don't remember.
Somewhere we've
Bell's
never
Forge,
heard of.
Yes. Right. So
Yeah, I was writing
when
all the
was
side quests down. No one said anything about that.
unconscious for the second time. How many times? Second time, I think. You know how, for some reason, various otherworldly beings seem to have a particular interest in me.
It's quite
Yes.
concerning. Yes.
Yes. And she looks down at the shield and then like looks up for a moment. Must be a paladin thing. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I met Bell unconsciously, and he offered, in exchange for me living, I did a favor for him. And granted, I did try to get him to tell me what the favor was before I agreed to it, but demons are very devils,
Devils.
very particular about it. So I did it. I didn't want to die.
What-
But more
But-
importantly, I didn't want any of you to die. And I can't protect you if I'm dead.
What did he give you? What's this? What's the ends of this deal?
I mean,
I was alive.
no, but I did that.
But- Yeah, he didn't do that.
Well, then maybe he owes me one.
Or he could just not. How do you feel about Bell?
Oh, I don't
Would-
trust him at
Would you
all.
rather be beholden or not? Because I can fix it.
What?
What?
Well, do you remember when we were coming down here, we got those scrolls?
Oh, yes.
One of them was for a very useful spell for a place like this. And I believe is applicable. I copied it into my spellbook. I used up my magic inks and a couple of hours while we were gaining new abilities and becoming more hearty after a particular.
After we've had all these
Threshold and cost.
experiences. Actually, you don't have any
Ah,
experiences.
yes.
I can remove curses. I just need to prep it beforehand.
Oh,
Wait, is that considered a curse?
That's kind of
Totally. That's what it does.
it's more of a if you're making a bargain, it's kind of voluntary. Curse implies that it would be
Only one way to find out, I
imposed
guess.
upon you. But yes, I suppose it could work.
Or you could try it. Yeah.
Well, how would you know if it worked or not?
You can tell with these kinds of things.
also going to
Feeling.
assume that there is a if I don't do what he says sort of thing within reason, then
We
she,
still
like,
haven't
makes
gotten,
like a
we still haven't gotten to the part where whatever you have to do.
he
Exactly. Otherwise, it would be a really bad idea. But if he's not giving you your part, then it's not breaking a contract. It's annulling a contract
He
that hasn't
has.
gone into effect.
I'm sure he has. She just hasn't said yet.
he said he would bring me back to life, but it sounds like November did that. So I don't know what happened to that. Maybe he owes me that. But instead, I have to acquire 9 adamantium rods that were stolen from his forge by Zariel, which amusingly enough turns out he works for. So I'm sure that'll go great.
Wait, so your deal was to get us involved in the very, very top tier power struggles in hell?
Maybe he knows where the sword is.
I mean, considering we're looking for a citadel of good in the wastelands of awfulness currently, I don't think being involved in the high-level power struggles is really something we're not going to be doing eventually.
So you, Bryn, while everyone's talking, the volume of their conversation sort of drops, and you hear the voice of Gargoth in your mind.
Not to interrupt or anything, but I know a thing or two about this Bell you've made the deal with. And frankly, I'm disappointed. You didn't think to make a deal with me, who has protected you in so many circumstances.
I feel like while this is happening and she's just staring at the shield and like having this mental conversation, like November and I are like bickering about something in the background, and you can like see the animation in like a background.
Like Sosarova's already prepping.
A lot of arm waving and like pointing.
Like, arm waving and like November's shillelagh or something. You know, like
there's definitely that happening in the background.
Gargoth.
That was my mental image.
While I appreciate that, again, you're still stuck in a shield, so what could you have offered me? Good. I was going to die, and then what were you going to do? Get used by it, and she just gestures over at the other 3 of them.
Could have given me more AC, you jerk.
I agree. Your friends are either pathetic cowards or already spoken for.
Rolls her eyes.
If I heard that, I would have been mad.
Yeah.
But he says,
but I am familiar with the General Bell. It seems he's fallen somewhat.
It does.
Used to be that he ruled this place in Asmodeus' name.
Huh.
But if the fallen angel Zariel is in charge, Bell will be resenting his new position.
Yep, that makes sense. So other than that, anything useful?
Bell is crafty. He was not given his power, he earned it, crawled up from the river Styx as a lemure, one stage at a time until he ruled over all of Avernus. He is dangerous, a foe to be considered.
Yep.
You did well swearing by him. I am envious, but he will prove a good ally if you are loyal.
No, is he not actually jealous in this situation because he's taking something that he thought he had?
Yeah, I guess so. Technically, he would not be envious. He would be jealous. Yes.
There we go. Making that distinction anytime it's possible.
Yeah, I've made that distinction inversely, but yes, it's true.
Exactly.
That's what he means.
I'll learn it from you, I think.
Right. Well, assuming I am still beholden to this bargain, then I am beholden to this bargain.
If you wish my gratitude, I would appreciate if you meet with the fallen general, that you mention my name to him. We are brethren of a sort. He may be able to free me or unlock
you want him
other
to know
powers.
that you messed up so bad that you got stuck in a shield. You think he'll help you out, fellow
Your
demon.
arrogance does not serve you well. Remember, I can deny you my gifts.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you're still going to be a shield. She like bang, bangs on it.
Stop that! Ow, ow, cut it out!
Yeah, you grant no extra AC, therefore.
What gift are you granting me?
I mean, he can take away, like, he can not let you use any of the fire magic. He can just, like,
Oh,
never use any of the special
no!
abilities. I mean, it's a DC 21 wall of fire, the resistance to fire. He can just be like, fuck you, I'm just a big piece of metal now, so.
Gargoth, you know I appreciate the fact that you are a sturdy and valuable shield.
Wait, do you want to make like a little deal now that we'll just be like bros? You don't have to get too complicated about it.
But also, I am not going to stop being mean and antagonistic to you. You're a devil. You're a pit fiend.
Someday, I will be freed. I will be returned to my position of power. My
Probably.
clergy will be given back to me, and then I will have my revenge.
Wouldn't you dislike it if I was nice to you? If I was a simpering sycophant who just knelt before you, you would get bored.
I happen to like sycophants. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Well, that's too bad. Have fun being a shield. Smack, smack, smack.
Yeah, and so we cut over, right? We see you like looking at your shield, and we pan over, and Lulu is just like staring intently at a piece of trash and like nodding and like talking. And when somebody looks at her, she looks up and she's like,
I can do it too.
Yeah, that's great. We wouldn't want you to, be affected by any spells or effects like that, would we? It's so useful when you're not all the time.
Well, thank you, Sosarovo. I mean, I don't do it on purpose. I was just born this way, but I'm really glad that you appreciate it.
I can't say anything else.
I, in the middle of arguing with Sathra, start to fall asleep on my feet. That's my contribution to this conversation.
Bryn like snaps out of this. She's like, so what did you all decide? I was having a conversation with Gargoth.
Were we not headed towards the golems?
yeah.
yes.
And I think maybe then we kind of pan over and we see Mickey's like shed, I guess, that he lives in. And so again, keeping with the kind of like fantasy version of Borderlands situation, we see that there is a house, and like Mickey, it is made of the rubble of many other houses, right? Things riveted together. And above the door, there is a sign that says Mickey, and it's flickering in hell neon. And we see Mickey. He seems to be like building something or making something out front of his house. So he's got a pile of stuff that's in like a vague kind of shape. And when you see him, he's scratching his head and he's looking at a bunch of pieces of junk he's got laid out in front of him of various like sizes and shapes. He doesn't seem to notice you.
Hey,
at
buddy, you
this
doing
distance.
a puzzle over there?
And you say that, and he looks over and he shakes his fiendish head. Let me get the art for him again, because I think it really helps envision how weird he looks. Yeah, because he's got this big weird tube coming out of his head, and it's a whole thing. So there's our boy.
Ugh.
And he looks at you when you say like, you doing a puzzle or something, and he shakes his head and he's just like, "Meh," and then looks back at the pile.
Is it something you want help with?
Can I also look at the pile and try and figure out what the intent of this confused gaze?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Okay. Insight. I get a 7.
Nice. Yeah, you have no idea what the hell.
Disadvantage, it's also a 7.
No idea what the hell he's doing.
I don't
I want to know where the other end of that weird mouth tube is. Does it just go into his chest? In which case, what is the point?
There is no point.
There's gross looking.
It's a tube,
like,
Adam.
But what's with the tube? Like,
There's
It's
no
like
points
boa
on a
scarf,
tube.
but it would fall off because he can't maintain it. So she's just attached.
surgically
it to his
attached
head.
to his face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like his eyebrow horns, though. That's cool.
If you drop the boa that I got you one more time, I'm gonna tie it to your face.
That's right. I will surgically attach this to your face.
I have no idea what.
That's
he's
why I was
trying
asking.
to do.
It's easier to let people tell you things.
He doesn't seem to. It's fine.
Hold on. Let me help you out with that. Let's converse. Let's converse like creatures who can speak, shall we? All right, just 1 second. Don't resist this one. This is a good spell. I'll detect thoughts on him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because he physically can't speak, but
Yeah, I was
he's like
thinking
he's dumb.
tongues,
He's
but it
dumb,
doesn't
but
do
he can.
anything.
Yeah, tongues wouldn't work, but detect thoughts. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Okay. All right.
All right. Does he resist the probing deeper so I can get the proper information?
I think he just naturally would, because he doesn't know you yet or trust you. So yeah, I think he will make the save. What is it?
Wisdom saving throw DC 16.
All right. Unfortunately, he gets a 17. So he resists.
Really?
You're like trying to probe his thoughts. I think he makes a noise like and like grumbles and shakes his head like he's trying to shake you off. Like there's bugs flying around his head, and he kind of like swipes at the air. Like,
All right. All I was gonna do is let you communicate with me better. but I want to help. I'm feeling helpful. I help those guys. I help the skull. I help kill those red caps. I'm just going for a clean sweep. I want to be the most helpful, so we get the most out of Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you doing? Can you explain it to me?
He trying to be helpful. He points at the things on the ground and he goes, "Ugh." And then he points at the pie, the big pile that he's making. He's like, huh?
Oh, is this? It's like a Tetris situation. No, I got this. Where they fit, right? Like where to put them.
And he nods like,
All right, I can do that. I'm the master of geometry for some reason. Can I have a go at investigating it? And
yeah. You can make an investigation check if you want to assess the thing that he's working on.
I'd love to. Well, I blew all my portents, so let's hope I roll well. +8, so it should be pretty good. 13, unfortunately.
Okay. He's not trying to assemble something in the way that like Mad Maggie would make a vehicle. This is a sculpture, and if you squint real hard, it kind of looks like Maggie.
Oh, that's adorable.
Like there's a metal skirt around the bottom, and he's got two big like bladders that he's put on the front for her chest, and then like her long nose, and he's trying to figure out like how to finish the sculpture.
Now I'm no aesthetician, but
and when you're looking at it, like... he points, he watches you look at it, and he points, and he just goes, "Mom."
Yes, your creator. I understand.
And he nods.
Let's see. Any of you sculptors in a previous life just picked it up as a skill?
No.
I can give it a shot. I knew some.
I can play the flute.
I'm good at dice.
Let's fall back on the old racial. Well, not.
I have this doll.
My people are great sculptors. Out of rock instead of trash.
You had hell trash.
We could give this a go.
God, I want a T-shirt that just says hell trash on it.
Yeah. Let's see. We could do this.
I would also buy that shirt.
Yeah, right.
Or
hell trash gang.
Or you could wait until we took a little rest, and I could make it amazing.
And
this is the bargaining portion where you're like, and if you give us space to rest.
So Mickey looks at the stuff, and he kind of like, he's like, well, you talk long enough that he loses interest in whatever you're saying, and he looks at the pile, and he picks something up, and he picks up like an antenna or something, and he looks at the thing, and he takes a couple of steps towards it, and he does that weird like walk again where he kind of like stumble hops. And he kind of like makes this like pained groaning sound as he walks like, and like walks over to it and sticks the antenna in like out one side like a weird snowman, like it looks like an arm. And then he takes a step back and he brings up one of his horrible gnarled claws and scratches his chin and goes like, and like looks up at it.
Can I make maybe because you said it sounded pained. Can I like make a medicine check to see if it's like
yeah. Or Sathra and Bryn, like, what are you doing while? Because November kind of like tried to figure out.
I'm watching Sorovo dick around with a golem. Is there really anything else that needs to happen? Like,
I think Bryn's just watching. She has no idea what to do to help.
If decapitation becomes
you're right, it's off the table. So
I'm present. So it's.
I just imagine that Sathra is
just keep moving.
Sathra is just standing around in idle samurai mode, like one hand on your sword, like any minute now. Here we go. They're gonna need to be.
I'm just waiting to be the anime swords.
Exactly, yeah. We need a diagonal line to cut the screen in half, but not
that
yet.
would be the really sad thing, though, because you do it and you'd be like, "Yes, I've done it." And it's a flesh golem, and it would just be like, "Whatever, I just don't have a head anymore. Just continue moving."
But yeah, November, you can make a medicine check, sure.
Cool. I still have disadvantage. I get 215.
Perfect, because the DC was 15. So here's the thing. Mickey was made very well, but it's clear someone has been sabotaging one of his legs.
Oh no.
So they're one leg is shorter than the other and like twisted. And you can see where you would be able to help. There's a piece of bone that someone has like stuck into the joint, maybe while he was sleeping or something. And he can't reach it or hasn't noticed it. He's just in pain and has been sort of stumbling around. But you notice, you're like, wait a second, that's...
Save him, November.
Yeah, I think that I look at the puzzle, the statue or whatever, and I'm like, I have no idea. But then my gaze goes like a little bit over and I'm like, hey. And I think that just like kind of feeling like that the exhausted, you're not really doing the whole thought process loop. I'm just like, I can fix that. And I just walk over and go to like tug it out.
Okay. So you walk up to him and he turns and like he probably takes a step backwards and goes like and like brings up his claws like, get the fuck away from me. What are you doing?
It's okay. We're helping. We're doing helping. She's doing a different kind of help. I don't know what she's doing. I'm looking at this.
Should I do the whole?
No. You have pain in your leg. And I point like from where I am. I don't get any closer.
Yeah.
I can fix it.
Okay. Make a persuade check. You have advantage because of Sosorovo, or Sosorovo can roll it, and with advantage, either one's fine.
Okay. Persuade?
Yeah.
I'm not great at that.
I only got +1.
Oh,
so
same then. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I got a 6.
He lets out a low like groan, like stay back.
Yeah.
When Bryn sees
We
this,
don't-
like she might piece together what November is saying.
Mhm.
Oh no.
My
Well, I
persuade-
literally pointed at it and said,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so like she steps forward and is gonna just try and be like, let us help you.
Yeah, you want to try
still,
to?
Remember before?
I'm still saying I could do the like,
The great thing is,
Don't
Sathra.
cut his head off. That's not gonna
No,
help.
that's not what she means.
I can do my trusty snake eyes.
Yeah, all you gotta do, Bryn, all you gotta do is wait for Bryn to fail, and then you can just be like,
That's what
all
I'm
right,
gonna do.
Mickey, calm the fuck down.
I'm gonna wait until Bryn
Okay.
fails. And when Bryn fails, I'm gonna be like,
Totally
trust
cool.
me.
So Bryn, make
Bryn's
a
like, remember when I helped you before? I was
make
trying
a persuade check.
I'll try. I have 24.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
So you kind of like calm down, buddy. And he's just like, like growls at you, and then.
I think she responds. She starts speaking and growls like,
Yeah, and it works, right? Or he's just like, and then like stops and like kind of lets you get close to him without swiping at you with the claws.
Okay.
Do I need to make a
I
medicine check when
I
I'm
just
closer?
I point at it, and so I'm just like, it's that bone.
Yeah,
there.
I
It's
think
not
the
supposed to
medicine
be
check that
there.
November had before is enough. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it
she
shouldn't
like
be
gets him to
back.
be okay with November, and
Okay. So you want to go over there and yank the broken piece out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, he won't let anybody but Bryn near him.
Yeah,
So
that's
Bryn has
fine.
to do it, but you just
I'll
point.
be like from
Okay.
afar. I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, it's that bone. That's
So-
not a part of him. It's a different bone.
Yeah, you pull it out. Maybe maybe you're like, yoink, and he's like, ah, and like
look over there.
grabs his leg. He's like, and he gets mad at you and like roars as best he can, and then realizes like, and like stretches his leg and kind of takes a couple of steps, and then he grabs you. He lunges for you with his claws. What do you do?
Bryn is surprised and probably doesn't respond. She just like
Yeah.
stands
Okay.
there.
So
and, like,
he grabs you.
I
and-
still have his surface thoughts. So do I get like half a second to just be like,
So you can make an insight check if you want, but his surface thoughts are like 6 or 7 different like demonic kind of like clashing. Like his mind is fragmented too, right? Just like Barnabas said, right? It's like this is what happens when you got 3 brains.
yep. So he lunges.
Yeah, he lunges. You can make an insight check.
Will this character, also bad at insight, keep 8 rolls of always rolling above 20 on insight?
Oh my
Yes.
god.
Survey says yes.
That's a 20.
21.
Yeah. The only thoughts in his mind right now are hug. And
Thanks.
he lunges
And then
for
you
Bryn, wraps his enormous spiky arms around you, lifts you off the ground, and squeezes you to his chest and shakes you back and forth. Your
Bryn,
little
like,
legs, like, and like,
pats
you're only like half as tall as he is, right? He's huge, so he just yanks you up and just like and like squeezes you, and then puts you down.
Are
you okay?
Pat gives a thumbs up to the group, like we're good.
Oh, that's great. Do you think you could consider him? Well, like convince him to let us stay now?
Yeah. She
don't have to
points-
do that voice. It doesn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can we? Thank you. You're welcome. I'm not. Can we stay here? We're tired.
And he
Is everyone doing the sleep thing? Yeah, like this.
Yeah, he nods, and he goes like, and he turns and he goes inside. He like walks, and he kind of like, he does this occasional like, because you see how his legs are bent like that, and he kind of like walks on his hands sometimes too, like a gorilla. And he goes inside into this like, and you hear just like banging and clattering, and he does this. He's inside doing something for a couple of minutes while you're standing outside. You just hear him moving around in there.
Well, this seemed to work out, I suppose.
Yeah, Bryn like follows him inside.
Can I find?
If you try to follow him inside, he turns around from whatever he's working on. He looks at you and he's like, "Ma!" and like waves like, "Get out!"
Okay.
Don't come in my room.
Can I try and find?
He's gonna put away his anime body pillows. One of them is Zariel.
Step 1, gain power in hell. Step 2, sell Dagamura of yourself to everyone.
Oh man.
Gotta have that merch.
And our body pillow.
I am Zariel, mistress of doom. Look upon my body pillow and despair.
Can I try and find, like, he's got a bunch of like garbage on the ground and stuff. Can I try and find like 2 little metal pieces that look kind of like his horns?
Sure. Yeah.
And I want to stick them in the head of Morlock's doll.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then like kind of like put it right next to the
Oh,
bag.
cute. Yeah. So you just like set the little doll down.
Oh, that's cute.
That's good. It's the doll of a horrific serial killer, but that's fine. So
He doesn't know this is hell. That's fine.
probably
Everyone
cool, yeah.
here is a horrific serial
Aw.
killer.
That's great. Okay. So he after a minute of like loud banging and clattering, he comes back outside, and he kind of straightens up and he gestures back at the shack, and he's like, "Bah." Points at it.
Okay. Bryn like goes in.
Okay. So you come inside, and there is a table. Again, everything in here is made out of like if Maggie gets all the good scrap, Mickey gets all the like leftovers. So there's a deeply lopsided metal table. He's scrapped together chairs for everybody. Obviously not for him. He's put chairs all the way around it. On the table, there is a teapot and several cups around it. And then next to it, he has assembled a kind of Byzantine, like, what is it? A scaffolding apparatus with some like piles of blankets on it. And he comes in and he gestures at the scaffolding and he goes, "Bub." And then he points at the table and he goes, "Duh, ma," and points at the chairs like, "Sit."
Bryn
All
sits
right.
down.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So everybody sits and he like lumbers over, and with just the 2 like tiny little claws on one hand, he picks up the teacup and he starts making conversation in like noise. So he's just like, "Ma, blah, 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 blah," and like pouring tea for everybody very delicately.
Mrs. Nesbit.
He is the most precious boy.
And he
Oh,
sets the
listen.
teacup down in the middle of the table, and he picks the teacup up, and looks at you like, "Duh." Yeah. So everybody drinks the tea, and he just splashes his on his face, and it just drips off his face.
The great thing for me is that I'm immune to poison, so whatever.
Yeah.
Is like.
Yeah. So Mickey just picks it up, and he has no mouth, so he just throws it on his face.
Can we trade Lulu for Mickey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
Please.
Yeah. So
The thing to remember, however, is that flesh golems are a deeply disturbing type of golem.
and he's a flesh golem made out of dead hell creatures.
Like they're very bound to their creators in very, very like horrible and like disturbing kind of ways. And
But she's his mom.
yeah.
So he makes you sit through this tea party where you can only really talk to each other, but he pretends to make a conversation with you. So there are several times where if you talk to him, he like puts his hand like on his chin. He's like and like just listens to you and makes noises.
At a certain point, it starts to seem like actual language as I'm like falling closer and closer to sleep. I'm like, yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. And I think when he sees that November, when he sees that you're like kind of drowsy, he stands up and he looks down at the table and he's like, bah, and he just throws all of the teacups in the teapot on the floor, like just like, bah, and it's done. And he walks over to you and he picks you up, November. He just grabs you and picks you up. And he walks over and he just throws you into the scaffolding and you kind of like boonk, land in the pile of like smelly oil rags. And he points and he goes, bah.
Okay.
And he pushes your head like down onto the bed, and then with his other hand, very delicately with his little claws, he reaches over and he just like holds your eyes shut, and he and he just puts his hand on your face, and you hear him going like ba 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 ba, and he's like humming to you, and like
I actually fall asleep.
you're rocking the scaffolding back and forth.
At first, I'm like tense and terrified, and then he like closes my eyes, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's gonna.
And he turns around, he looks at the rest of you, and he brings one talon up to his tube, and he goes like, "Badama," and points, and then big dramatic tiptoes out of the room to go back outside.
Oh, I love him so
He's
much.
pretty good.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, so yeah, he. I guess everybody can get a long rest.
It's like all inspiration for everything.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody mark
inspiration.
inspiration.
Okay.
Someone remind Sosorovo when they return from the temporal paradox.
There they are.
Okay. Maybe. Sathra has become darkness. Elf, you're Bryn now. There we go. Okay. We're gonna do a quick shuffle, everybody.
Time to turn Lauren's character evil.
Okay, there you go. Do you remember the order from the beginning? You're in the right place, Dave. You got it. Also, Dave, mark inspiration and take a long rest.
It's Blue Jay, then me, then Elf.
Okay, let's try it. Yep,
Yeah.
Blue Jay.
Oh.
Bryn. Sathra, we're good. Okay, good.
Hey.
So yeah, Sosrovo, the only thing we have is that everybody gets inspiration and everybody gets a long rest.
Yay.
Let me
I like
check.
So, am I no longer exhausted?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. At the end of your long rest. Everybody
Unless you
make
have to roll it again.
except Sosorovo, I think. No, except Sathra and Sosorovo. So Bryn
Yeah.
and November make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so right now, because it's not the end, I still have one level of exhaustion, and then I make a wisdom saving throw.
No, you would recover. Do you recover that level and then make the saving throw, or like rest wise?
I think it's
doesn't
all.
really- it doesn't
I assume.
matter.
Let's say. I know. It
Because
doesn't
the
matter.
saving
But
throw,
there's
it doesn't
no
get disadvantage, right?
to Elf's point. There is no clear indication of at the end of like even if yes, like I agree that it doesn't matter right
what
now.
I'm saying is,
But you're right.
It
Yes.
might become exhaustion level 2, which is
Well, yeah, but then we would recover
No. So what we're rolling
from
here.
having the night's rest.
What we're rolling here is not. It's not the
okay,
exhaustion.
doesn't
This is a
matter.
different thing.
Okay, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Okay, but
So-
I don't have disadvantage on this anyway
Because-
because it's an ability check and not.
Yes.
And you
or
have plus
a saving
3
throw,
because
not an
presumably you're within 10 feet of me.
Yes, you're all jammed into the scaffolding together.
ability. So this is a wisdom save.
Yes.
17.
The reason it's
29?
relevant to Elf's point is that there's no clear order of operations for like whether you recover exhaustion first or you make it there both at the end. So I assume you do all the good shit first and then you deal
I
with the
would
bad
assume
stuff.
so.
That's how I would rule it.
The real question that everybody wants to know, I'm sure in chat, is which people are sleeping with which people on the scaffolding tiers.
I thought it was.
So
Who's
there,
left
you,
together?
if you want to think about it this way, I was
No,
envisioning.
it's only one bed.
I was thinking it was 4.
I thought it was
my-
like
the
I
way-
went like bunk bed. you
No,
know?
the way, yes. So that was, you're right. But because Mickey is so enterprising, it's like a scaffolding network of bunk beds where you're kind of like
okay.
laying in funny angles, but you're all jammed up on the wall. Like he's just like, I made this for you. Sleep now. So, there's a little bit of like, this is kind of uncomfortable and maybe I'm going to get tetanus, but it's
I feel like
fine.
it's also like it's
immune to
like 3
poison.
p.m. So
Yeah,
we just
exactly.
have to spend like 10 hours just pretending to sleep, and then we actually sleep because Mickey's like, no.
Yeah, sleeping. So okay, yeah. So everybody rest. So you have helped
So wait,
Mickey-
we made the save.
Barnabas
Mickey,
and the crows.
Barnabas. Yes, you both made the save. Yeah, Mickey,
Okay.
Barnabas, and the crows. Okay, so that's one more.
And
Holy
we helped Wazak as well.
We also help.
We did actually help Wasik before we
Return
killed
to his
him.
home plane.
That's right.
Maybe he'll be happier there.
I wonder. Let me look. I don't actually think you can help the red caps. I think everyone else in the camp hates them.
Nice.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. They're just the bad guys. Everyone else's quests are like, we hate these nerds.
Got it. Cool.
Okay, so yeah, you get all your hit points back. You get all your spells. You can choose new spells, Sosrov, if you want to, and everybody
Have a
rests.
look in between sessions, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. So you all got some
That
rest.
Final Fantasy resting music. They're like dee 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 dee.
Yeah, a little tent appears. So at the end of your long rest, when you awaken the next day, quote unquote, because it's whatever.
The next hell time period.
Hell day. Time later
Yeah.
happens.
I can tell you when 24 hours has passed since the previous 24 hours. If that would help you acclimatize to hell.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Track time.
So I think probably there's a, I don't know, do you all rest at once, or are people like keeping watch? Is somebody staying awake and like doing stuff?
I mean, probably.
I
don't
mean,
think
it seems
I take
smart.
last
Yeah.
wash.
Okay. So Sathra, when you were on watch, you hear outside. You can't make out like what's being said because it's kind of muffled, but you hear Maggie, and Maggie is talking to Mickey.
Mhm.
And the last thing you actually hear her say as she comes inside is, "Don't worry, dear. I'm not going to bother them. I just need to have a conversation." And then you hear like kind of a like, "Fine, mom, whatever." And
Fine.
Maggie comes inside, and she sees you. What are you doing, Sathra?
So Sathra has a deck of cards, actually. So she's probably just playing like some Forgotten Realms version of Solitaire on her
Mhm.
bunk, like keeping an ear out.
Yeah. So you see Maggie come in, and she looks up and she says,
Evening.
"Just the creature I was looking to speak to. Might I have a word?" And
Sure.
with long, gnarly fingers,
I, like,
she gestures.
down-
like,
yeah, hop
come,
down from
come
the
with
bunk.
me.
Hop down from the bunk, like scoop my cards up, put them away, and yeah, I'll go talk to her if
Okay.
she wants to like step outside or whatever.
So the two of you go for a little walk. So she's gonna go for a walk with you through the junkyard, and she says, "Pins and Needles told me about what happened. The Red Caps?"
Yes.
She nods. "Sounds like you know how to handle yourself."
I like to think so.
"It's important to me to know what's going on around here."
Around here, you mean in this camp or
She
around?
She nods. She says, "I mean both. I've been keeping an eye on our new overlord, searching the wastes for bits and pieces, trying to put together a story with too many holes. What do you know about Zariel?"
Other than that they are some kind of fallen celestial, not much,
And
personally.
she nods. She says, "I know the story of her and those hell riders of hers. Nothing pleases me more than a story with a happy ending. Those arrogant celestials and their hubris. She got
Agreed.
what she deserved, I think.
It is overconfident to come charging into hell thinking you'll make a difference, certainly.
Hell, it seems to me she's changed her mind. Old Bell's been knocked down a rung on the ladder, and now Zariel's in charge.
Well, you know what they say. The strong thrive. The weak, not so much.
Too many of the powerful, or those who hope to be powerful, think that they can do it all alone. She was wise to kneel before Asmodeus. And she makes some kind of like cool like sign, like the evil equivalent of like crossing yourself, which is like Asmodeus. and she says to you, she says, but you know all about serving a dark master, don't you, little one?
I know some things. I'd hardly say dark. Well, never mind.
And she says,
She does want to eat the sun.
what do you know about my kind, little egg? Do you
Your
know
kind.
who I am?
I know you are I can make an Arcana.
Yeah,
roll or something.
totally.
I can do like a check. Because, like, I know, but.
Yeah.
Arcana. I guess Arcana? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
18.
Hot damn. All right, so it's fair to assume, because you never run into an old woman in Dungeons and Dragons unless she's a hag. It's fair to
It's
assume
what
that
kind
she's
of
a
hag is the
Right.
specific?
Now, she's not like dripping with seawater. She's not like, you know,
Probably an Annis
sprouting.
hag?
She's a night hag,
Oh, a night hag. Okay.
which means that her purview is nightmares.
nightmares, yeah.
Nightmares and darkness, right?
Oh shit,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
So yeah, she says, do you know who I am?
I know of your kind, certainly. Not a sea hag or a swamp hag, but some sort of night hag, probably, if I had to guess.
Yeah, and she's nodding and she's like, clever too. The egg doesn't roll far from the nest, I see. I serve no master but myself. I pay my tithe as I am expected to the lords of this place. But I've always had a fondness for snakes.
As I'm sure we share a certain sympathy.
You know, you could have a future here. Avernus is a place of eternal torment and war. I could use a blade like you at my side.
Oh, I heartily agree. Any place that I am spreading terror and what would I call it? Disruptive sleep is a good place to be. Are you making me an offer?
She shakes her head. Not yet. Not yet. But perhaps when your business is done, you could come back to this place. I've been alone for too long. I miss my sisters.
You had sisters here once?
She shakes her head. Not here. Elsewhere. Before I was brought to Avernus. Separated from them.
How did you end up here? So long ago.
Misadventure. I crossed the wrong people. I've learned my lesson. To be smarter. Make others do my work for me, as I think you know to do.
And, just to add to what you said, what if our business is to topple the current power structure here, to change the way that things are outlined currently? I can see things heading in that direction.
She nods and says, change is the only constant on Avernus. It used to be Bel was the great general. Now it is Zariel. Topple her and another will take her place. Perhaps perhaps while I am unable to fight these other warlords alone, if I had a coven with me, we could seize that power for ourselves.
The best offer I've been made, certainly.
And she grins and says, there will come others. The archdevils of this place love to try to draw mortals into contracts. Reject them. Hold true to your own power. And if you may, return here when your business is done. You and I should speak again.
Consider it an agreement.
She grins and she says, good. Good. I had hoped that you were the reasonable sort. Now, a favor for old Maggie. Go on back and wake your friends. Bring them to my hut. I have a vision to show them. And she reaches out and puts her hand on your shoulder. Be sure to bring that little elephant with you. It's more important than it knows.
Of course.
And like dust my hands off and like turn to go and wake the others.
Yeah, and when you do, and you're like, yeah, I'll do that, she like pinches your cheek and she's like, that's a good dear. And she reaches into her pocket and she's like, have a candy. And she gives you this little, like, it's something wrapped up in green foil.
Awesome. I'm going to pocket that for now and I'm going to give it to November later.
Excellent. Yeah. And so she's like, run along now, dear, and gives you a little like smack on the butt. Like, go on, go get your friends. And she turns and she heads back to prepare for whatever it is that she wants to show you, which we will find out next time. On Descent into Avernus. Sweet. Once I realized that Maggie was a night hag,
yeah.
and that I was like, whoa, wait, there's some synergy here. Yeah, that's the fun thing I think about. One of the fun things for me about running pre-gen adventures is looking at the characters and then it's so good being like, wait a second, and then yeah. Cool. That was really fun. Thanks, guys. Let's do some shout outs and we will bid everyone a fond farewell. Let's start over on this side. Blue Jay, take it away.
We're starting with me.
Do it.
Hi, I'm Blue Jay. You can find me over on twitter.com/bluejay_712. I pretty much post everything else I'm doing there. I also am going to be doing another show like an hour after this with Adam over on twitch.tv/Adam Coble. That's our Zweihander show. We're on episode 3 and things are like just starting out. So if you haven't managed to catch it already, like you can absolutely still jump in. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. So I hope that you will too. Other than that, I am approaching the end of the show that I'm GMing on Thursdays. That's on twitch.tv/Table Story. It's a Stars Without Number campaign. So if you haven't caught that one yet, you probably should catch up before you catch it. But I think it's really great. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I had a fellow role player compliment me on my GMing after last episode, and I felt like that was one of my weaker episodes. So I was like, what? Thanks. And that was really nice. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. We'll go around in a circle. So Dave, why don't you go next?
Okay. So thank you ever so much, everybody, for coming and watching and participating in chat, even if you have ruined my spell choice. Fix it by trying next session.
That's like a uniquely streamed D&D thing. Like, thank you for ruining my fun, chat. You're the best.
Appreciate that. No, it's totally okay. If you'd like to follow my personal stuff, God, it's pretty much being excited about video games and sad tweets at the moment. But if you can
reasonable
feel the balance of those, I'm on Twitter at Dave_the_human. And I'm super excited to see what happens next week.
Cool. Me too. It's fun. So next up, Lauren, do it.
I'm muted, but hello, Random Tuesday. You can find me pretty much all the places at Random Tuesday, Twitch, Twitter, all that good stuff. I stream on my own channel. I like playing RPGs. I also GM a podcast. The first episode is out. We talked about podcasts at the beginning. So if you want to figure out how many times I did not delete my ums and ers, go check it out. It's called Shattered Sky, available wherever you find podcasts.
Excellent. And last but not least, praise Dendar. It's Distracted Elf.
Praise Zendar indeed. Hello, I am Distracted Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter at DistractedElf. At the moment, my content is a cycle between a bunch of very less popular things that I've been doing, such as Neverwinter RP, some Warhammer model building and painting, and praying to the gods of Twitch that something that is more commercially viable eventually shows up for me to do. Okay, cool. That's it.
Excellent. Cool. Well, thank you for coming, everybody. I have been your Dungeon Master, Adam. You can find me on Twitch, Adam Coble, and on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. And then, as Blue Jay said, in about an hour, running the Zweihander RPG on my channel. Thank you for coming and for helping out with the rules, even if sometimes it ruins our fun. That's okay. That's what we want. We will see you next time for more Descent into Avernus. Bye, everybody.